All right, guys, something really common on these town cars that I see so much of, especially the ones seems like they're in the hot climates. This was a car spent most of its life in North Carolina. These stripes, I don't know what happens. Actually, I don't. I guess they bake off. I don't know because it's not really scratched up. Otherwise, there's a few scratches up here. Here's a good notch, but anyway, this drives me nuts. I can't stand it. My other car doesn't look like that. None of our cars ever look like this. So I had a local guy come out and measure this and make it for me. And I want to show you what we learned. You put this right up here. Keep it right on the top line. Right across the top. Look at this. It drops down. This lower stripe is completely out from under it. And I had no idea that it actually got wider in the center. So I called the guy and I'm like, well, this ain't going to work because it drops down. It's not straight. And there's like the whole thing widens in the center. Well, he's like, oh, I'm so busy with hail damage right now. That's going to be really hard to do. So basically, he just told me I ain't messing with it. So good luck to you. So I found somebody else that I've done work with in a couple towns over. And he got me right in. He measured it. First try, he got it. So we got to get this cleaned off. But I want to show you that it's not something that's just this car. We'll go over and look at my other one and I'll show you it as well. Okay, so here's my other white car in the other garage. I want to show you on it, just so you know I'm not crazy. Again, just following the top line. And he didn't get this one quite wide enough either. Stick it out just a little bit here. But look, again, this bottom line drops down. So who knew? You know, everything on these cars looks square and rectangular, but you go to replace this, you find out they're not. So we're going to get started cleaning that stuff off so we can put the new one on. All right, what I'm going to start with is a heat gun. And I got this box of what they actually call label scrapers. And I'm going to start heating this stuff up and see if we can get it peeled off. I always like to keep this thing moving. I don't know, I guess I'll just start and go try to do one line at a time all the way across. Okay, it's pretty hot. So this is just, I guess, kind of like one of those plastic razor blades that you can get. Right there's where that scratch is, so that's going to stop there. Look at that, that's not bad. This may not be near as bad as I thought it was going to be. So, I think you get the gist of it. Got little chunks left here. Coming right off. Well, I learned real quick that you can't do that because this gets too hot. So just heat this up and oops, scrape away. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this, and then we're going to scrub it with an SOS pad. All right, guys, I've been on this about 25 minutes, and I figured I'd just show you. You get down here on the ones that aren't scratched up near as bad, and it comes off pretty easy. Everywhere there was a freaking scratch, or crack, whatever you call it, I think they were all scratches, it would stop, and you have to start again. Oh, this was the toughest one so far. I shouldn't have spoke so soon. And I know all about those decal wheels you can put on a drill and take this stuff off. I just didn't want to take a chance on marking anything up on here. So I didn't know what it might do to this other chrome or anything. So I'd just rather do it the hard way. All right, it's all off. There's our pile there on the floor. So now all I got to do is, I think I'm going to use steel wool, like a SOS soap pad to get, because I tried a spot right here with it and you can't feel it anymore. When I did that where it was already off, gone so much. So it's probably what I'm going to do with the rest of it. And he says that everywhere, because you can almost, if you get on the, just in the right light, like right there, I think you guys see it, you can still see even where they were. But he says it's going to cover all that up and you'll never see it. He thinks he got it that exact. So let's hope. All right, guys, I put some masking tape and a tarp there because I don't want stuff dripping down on there. And I know they make all kinds of different adhesive removers and stuff like that. I just don't want to take a chance on what it might do to that plastic if it runs down there on it. So what I started doing, and I don't even know if it's helping that much, but I'm just putting some alcohol in my hands, rubbing alcohol, rubbing this on here to kind of loosen that up. And see, it does really kind of take some of the bigger stuff off there. I think it'll help versus just a steel wool pad. I don't know if it's worth it or not. So I'll keep doing this, and then we will get a steel wool pad. All right, I want you guys to see, let's see, that it is taking this upper, you know, most part off. See, let's see which one. Let's use this. See that? That's taking that top coat of the adhesive off. So there, see, it'll make the steel wool pad a little bit easier, I think. All right, I really want you guys to see this, because turns out that you just really soak this paper towel down good with this rubbing alcohol after you got that top coat off, and it really takes it off good. There's still a little bit of top coat right there. Still a little bit right there. See, it's even making this tail light white when that alcohol gets on there. That's why I'm so leery about using anything else. I know rubbing alcohol takes sticky stuff off, and it evaporates extremely fast, as we all know. So I still think I'm going to go over it with the SOS pad, though, just to make sure we get it good and clean. All right, here we go. Our soapy steel wool SOS pad. And keep going straight across, because that's what the grain of this aluminum has. That way, if it does put a little bit of a scratch to it, you're never going to see it. Still some sticky stuff down here. I'm even going to go along this bottom chrome strip below it. Make sure I get all the sticky run off of it. All right. Okay, see? Well, I'll dry it off so you guys can see it. You can actually still see where the lines were, but we can't feel it anymore. And he says that he got it exactly where it's going to go right smack dab over the original line, so we won't be able to see it. All right, guys, it's totally cleaned off, and look at that. You get in the right light, so you get my shadow in front of there, and you can see exactly where that thing was. It almost looks like, on camera, it almost looks like it's still on there. But it's cleaned off. It's smooth. You cannot feel them. So, and there is even some white spots here where that rubbing alcohol and glue and stuff ran down on these, and I scrubbed it. It's got to be polished off. So again, don't use any harsh chemical removers on that to get that adhesive off, because, well, I mean, you can take the whole rear finish panel off if you want. You go underneath and you take some screws out of the bottom, get in the trunk, pull the carpet back, and there's some nuts on the back. The whole thing will come out, the backup lenses just twist out by lifting up behind the bumper, and you can take the whole thing off, and then this piece actually does come off separate. In fact, I'll show you one on eBay here in a little bit, but just be careful. Just don't let anything run down on this plastic and get it distorted in any way. There's no reason to. So I will show you that one here in a little bit, if I can find it on eBay, and why I didn't buy it. But yeah, we're ready to make an appointment with Dan and get over there and get it put on. Okay, see guys, there's one on eBay right here for $239. It's been on here for a long time, but I'll show you why I don't want to spend $239 on this one. If we can get to there. See that? See how the lines are all squiggly? Still in the Ford wrapper, but something happened to it. And here's another one. And you can see the glue where it's pulled up. So that's why I never wanted to buy this one. I'm pretty sure we're going to be in this at a lot less money than $239. All right, guys, we're here with Dan. He's the one that made this possible. So I wanted to show you the differences here in these lines. This is the one you did for the center.
This is the center.
Okay, that's the center.
Because it's wider, and that's the outside.
Yeah, because that's got the one on the end.
So if you look at them,
yeah,
you need to hold that up.
Yeah, you can see the difference in the width from one end to the center there, what we was talking about. So Dan made one out of orange, just to, because that's what he had most laying around.
A good scrap.
Yeah. So we held it up there and before I took it off, and it looks like he pretty much nailed it the first time. So we're going to go ahead and get this black one put on. And another thing, I'm glad Dan pointed it out, because I didn't realize that the one that I had, that the other guy made, was gloss black, and we don't want gloss black. We want a matte finish, because that's what it was originally. So we're going to put a matte finish one on there. So I'll try to get it set up so you guys can watch us do this. He knows more about it than I do. All right.
Okay, so Tony got the old one all off.
They watched, that's part of this video. They saw how I took it off.
Tony got the old one all off, but before we put the new decal on, we're going to just clean it with some isopropyl alcohol or rubbing alcohol.
That's what I used actually to soften the glue.
So
yeah.
You just kind of make sure it's good and clean, because this won't hurt anything. You always take a dry paper towel and just kind of rub it off there a little bit, because if there's any wax, this gets the haze of it off.
And Dan's got to show me what to do, because
Yeah. So right now, we're just going to put tape where the old one, you can still see where the old one was, because we want to know, get it in the exact same spot.
yeah, we definitely want to cover up the lines, which I don't know if you'll see those lines with the new one on there or not, but they sure do stand out now. Is that another guy freaking out on the car?
Yep, another admirer.
He said that's a nice car. And that's the second one since I've been here. People don't realize what kind of attention these things get. You wouldn't want to rob a bank in one of them. Marking the center there.
Yeah. You kind of look down between here and the emblem, and that gets you the center.
Now, do you need me to hold an end, or are you used to doing this yourself, or am I just going to be in the
No,
way?
you can watch.
Because I figure as much as you've done it, I feel like I'd probably be in the way.
Got a couple pieces of tape for the end. And the other decal I got ready, and I trimmed to the edge all the way around. And then I hold it to the end, do a little bit of crease, and I've got the center marked and the top. Because the top of this is straight, but the bottom goes down 1/4 of an inch. So my mark,
I don't know what he's doing, guys.
just right, it's right in the center. So,
I see
so
that.
the mark I had on there, so it's centered. But we get down here and we get it right in between our two pieces of tape. Put a couple pieces of tape on there for like a hinge method, so that doesn't pop off. Got my squeegee ready. Squeegee that flat so it all sticks to the pre-mask. Got my scissors. Pull the paper away from there. We just kind of line it up with the bottom of that. You can see where the old one was.
Yep.
And just kind of lightly go that way with it. Pull your hinge tape off. Smooth that down. There may be a little wrinkles in it from it sitting. Pull the back off there. Kind of eyeball it with your tape. Kind of go over it lightly, make sure it all gets down and you don't get a wrinkle in it. If you push real hard,
Yeah.
sometimes it may create a wrinkle. Get all your tape off there, and then you can push a little harder. Go from the center to the outside. And then you just grab the pre-mask. You just slowly peel it off.
Wow.
And just kind of maybe rub over it a little bit. Make sure it's all down. If you do have any bubbles, just push on it with your finger.
And the sun will take a lot of that out
Yeah,
too. won't it?
and when it sits there for a couple days in the sun, it'll just bake all those bubbles out.
Yeah, I did that
And
when I
then-
striped my XLGT. So, yeah, let's show you
There
guys
it is.
here.
Wow.
Look at that. He covered up all those original lines you can't see. I mean, it's right smack dab where the original one was. And I was showing him one last night on Facebook, or not Facebook, eBay. There's a new old stock one. Did I tell you about that?
It's got all the wavy lines.
Yeah. It's got. He wants $239 for it. It's that whole metal piece, but it looks like, you know, it's one area it's real wavy, and there's another spot it jumps up, and it's like, why would you spend $239 on one when
a fraction of the.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks like it's perfect. Wow. Thanks, Dan.
Hey, you're welcome. Thank you.
Wow, what a difference.
Yeah.
I had all those. You seen it.
Oh yeah.
This is my third trip over here because that guy the guy in Vandalia just blew me off because he didn't get it right the first time, and so now it's 20 miles over here. So I got 120 miles, I think, wrapped up in 3 trips over here. But man, was it well worth it? It looks perfect.
Look,
it's just like
sometimes you just got to have eyes on it and measure.
Yeah. And I have done business with Dan before. He made all my original Tony's car care signs when I started my business, and made the first sign that was ever on my shop door and everything. So I trusted him. It's just that I thought I'd give the guy in town a shot because he was close, and
there's nothing wrong with that.
He gave up on me just like that. So I called Dan, and he nailed it the first time with an orange one. Yeah. So if you guys want an orange one, Dan can fix you up there too.
Make it any color you want.
Yeah. If you're going to be working out on the highway and you need something orange. So, all right, guys, I'm back home, and I just want to show you one more time. I could not be any happier with this. He did such an awesome job covering up those original lines, and it just makes the back of the car look new again. It's just unbelievable. I love it. I thought I should point out that he can make them for 88 as well. You see, the line just goes around the outside, but he can make one. All right, guys, that's all there is to restoring the black lines on your 88, 89 town car, on your finished panel. Something I don't think I told you is I called Phoenix Graphics in Arizona. They do graphics for all kinds of stuff. You can look up their website and look at their products. They make the 68XL stripes and stuff. That's where I got my GT stripes. But I was going to send this piece, I was going to take it off and send it to them in a tube and have them duplicate this, and they just flat refused to do it. They wanted no part of it. I don't understand why, because they made over 100,000 town cars in 89 alone, and I see so many with these black lines missing that need it. So I know there's a lot of people out there that need them. So Dan said he can make as many as we need, but Dan doesn't want to mess with the shipping part of it. So he said he'd leave that up to me. And so we looked at some of the prices in Phoenix Graphics and everything, and we came up with a price of $60 total shipped. That includes insured shipping in a good sturdy box, so nothing's going to happen to it. And I ship keyless entries every day, and I can tell you the absolute cheapest that I can send a keyless entry out of here in a medium flat rate priority mailbox is $17.80. A lot of them are $19.85. So I know that shipping is going to be $10 to $15 to put this in a good sturdy box where nothing's going to happen to it. So if you want one, all you have to do is PayPal me at thefordfreak@yahoo.com. That's THEFORDFREAK@yahoo.com. That is my PayPal email. Send it goods and services. Don't do friends and family, because if you do it goods and services, that way if something would happen that you wouldn't get it, you're protected by PayPal. You would be refunded. And as long as I'm standing up and doing fine, you're going to get it, but you just don't know what's going to happen. So goods and services. Put a little note in there saying what it's for. There'll be PayPal fees in that as well. So just put a little note in there, make sure your address is up to date, and we can get you one out. If you don't have PayPal and you want to pay over the phone, I take payment over the phone every day. I took payment over the phone today for a keyless entry. My shop number, I'm not just going to blurt it out because it drives me nuts as it is, but if you want to call and buy one of these over the phone, I take payment over the phone every day. It's not a big deal. Just Google my shop number and you'll find it. So If you want one, he can fix you up. But I told him not to make any until we see what's going to happen. So either way, I don't care. But that's the only place I know you're going to get one. And I'm going to keep doing everything I can to show you guys how to make these cars better and better. So stay tuned. Please leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell to make sure you don't miss any other videos. And every time I come up with something to help you guys get these cars back in shape, I'm going to do it. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching.